and welcome to An Actor's Library. I'm Carly Spurk, and today I would like to review the book, Daughters of the Stone. Trying to get the glare. I'm always trying to get that glare off that cover. Daughters of the Stone by Dahlma Llanos-Figueroa. Llanos? Llanos. I'm not sure of the middle name. Dahlma Llanos-Figueroa. This book is delightful. It is the third book that I have read with my book club, Read Soul Lit. Hello, ladies. Hi. And I loved it. I loved it. It's a story that we don't hear often about Afro-Puerto Rican women. It's 4 generations of daughters. That's who the daughters are. 4. Actually, there's a 5th woman in this picture, but you'll have to read the book to understand it. So there's 4 generations basically talked about in this book, and it's the daughter of each of the women before them. So it starts with Mattie, who comes from Africa to Puerto Rico, or actually she was taken from Africa. We know that story. And then her daughter, Concha, Concha's daughter, Elena, and Elena's daughter, Carissa. So it travels. We travel from Africa. Well, actually, we meet Mattie in Puerto Rico. And then another daughter travels to the United States, and we sort of end up in New York with the youngest. And I won't tell you what happens after that. And then we go through cultures, African culture, Puerto Rican culture, New York culture, and how they all adapt through the years, how life changes, and also how the meaning of the stone changes from generation to generation to generation to generation. It's a very interesting story. I loved the part when we got to New York because that's my hometown. So it felt like the author just put me on a plane and sent me for a visit. I could totally see very clearly all the things that she was talking about, the places. I could feel the culture in her writing. And I just loved it. I really, really enjoyed this a lot. And it's not a book that I would have known about if it had not been for my book club. And Dee Dee, the woman who I guess is the founder of the book club, Read Soul Lit, she always seems to surprise us with the author joining us for our final conversations, our final book discussions on the books that we've been reading. This time was no different. Dahlma joined us on our last discussion and is just a lovely, lovely young lady, in addition to being a very talented writer. So we got to ask her questions. She was patient with us. She had a lot of time. She answered all of our questions, which you don't get a chance to do with most authors, most books that you read. So it's always a treat. And you get the backstory, you get to understand why she wrote it, what inspired her, and where the author is going next. So we found out that this is one in a series of 5. So there are 4 more books coming from this brilliant writer, and that will be exciting to see where she goes. I don't know if they'll be standalone or if she'll continue the story of these 4 women that are in this book, but either way, it's worth checking out. So she was born in Puerto Rico and moved to New York. So she's speaking of her culture and probably sharing stories that were told to her as a young lady or older person or throughout her life is what I'm trying to say. And so I thank you, Dahlma, for sharing the story of your ancestors, and I'm sure your imagination as well, to take us on this fun journey with these 4 women, even though there's 5 on the cover, Daughters of the Stone. So I'm looking forward to your next books, and anyone who's watching, I say check out this one because it's really good. Oh, there's a big old glare that way. Okay, Daughters of the Stone. Check it out.